Hitman Codename 47 was a game. While it had a very unique concept at the time with elements of social stealth via disguises and the use of targets, the execution of it left a lot to be desired.
Leave me alone!
From very bad level design to a lack of a save state resulted in a game that gives getting over it a very long run for its money in pure anguish and misery.
Oh my god! No!
It wasn't the best game in the kindest of terms, but while it wasn't much of a big critical success, it was a big commercial success for a brand new IP released exclusively for PC, selling over 500,000 copies. So that gave Eidos Interactive the idea of, you know what, fuck the chud critics, we're chasing that dollar with a sequel, baby. Thus giving IO Interactive the opportunity to make a sequel and turning Hitman into a franchise, something that wasn't even part of IO's plan as they had originally intended Codename 47 to just be a generic shooter as a test for bigger projects, but here they were now. But IO wasn't interested in simply making a cash grab sequel that was average at best. Nah, they saw how busted Codename 47 was, and they swore they were going to remedy all that with a brand new sequel. Better graphics, smarter AI, superb level design, new useful mechanics, and most importantly, a save feature. This game was going to be incredible. They had listened to all the fans' criticisms and suggestions on the forums, which were interesting places. A bit of a rarity back then for game devs, and especially now, that showed that IO truly gave a shit about Hitman and had a mission of creating the best game possible for them. So after 2 whole years of development and a couple delays, Hitman 2 Silent Assassin would finally be released on October 1st, 2002 to insane success, earning an 87 on Metacritic, widespread praise from fans, and selling over 3.7 million copies in its first few years. It marked the moment Hitman went mainstream, being many people's first exposure to Hitman and that bald freak, resulting in Hitman becoming a household name, and no, not for households with failing marriages inside of them. And most importantly, it earned bald people all across the globe acceptance in society and erased bald discrimination forever. It was quite the game at launch that felt like it fixed all the problems Codename 47 had and realized some of its unique potential to a wide new audience, no doubt accelerated by it being on consoles this time instead of just the bulky white old PC. It was another grand slam at the time, but that was all 24 years ago. Yes, I can see your wrinkles growing, and the passage of time has offered us even more Hitman sequels that build upon Silent Assassin's foundations, for the most part anyway, and they have kind of eclipsed Silent Assassin over the years, especially with Hitman 2, the one from 2018 being called Hitman 2, and that was really popular on the interwebs, I think. So now the Hitman 2 from 2002 is sort of buried in search results by the Hitman 2 from 2018, and people will confuse the Hitman 2 from 2002 and with the Hitman 2 from 2018 and vice versa, and the only way to differentiate between the two is by adding Silent Assassin into the title of Hitman 2, but that doesn't even fucking matter because the Hitman 2 from 2018 will still show up in search results. I think my brain has had a fucking meltdown. I'm just gonna refer to this game as Silent Assassin in this vid to not jumble your flaccid little brain. Anyway, now in 2026 with the Hitman series having had 6 games since Silent Assassin, does it still hold up well after all this time? Has it drunk the fountain of youth much? Does Unc still have it? Well,
Position on the central alarm.
Nah. While Silent Assassin is undoubtedly an improvement over its predecessor in some ways, it still has like a shit ton of things to improve on, and in fact actually shares a lot of the faults that Codename 47 had, and adds in some new problems, like completely busted AI, overlong level design, and general jank that's pretty much everywhere. But hey, it's not like the game got an 87 score because of game journalists being complete morons, which they most definitely are.
You serious?
People absolutely loved this game back in 2002, and even still do now thanks mostly to nostalgia. And that's good and all. I get some of the praise the game has earned, as it was pretty much unlike anything else at the time, along with another absolute banger-ass soundtrack by Jesper Kyd that makes the game just aura farm all over your ass. I mean, just look at the cover. If that doesn't scream horror to you, then I don't know what does. But once you take some of those rose-tinted glasses off and go back to playing the game again after all these years, you'll eventually come to the realization that the game is kind of an extremely janky-ass mess. So let's dive through it together, shall we? What are some of the aspects that made Silent Assassin beloved on release, and what are some of the aspects that make it really not enjoyable to play through now? So grab those silver ballers, shave that head, and be sure not to run, as we take a look at Hitman 2: Silent Assassin. Silent Assassin begins in a rather unusual place for our favorite bald man, Agent 47, to be in: the garden. Picking up some very highly detailed apples in a highly detailed bucket, Mr. 47 is now living a very different, quieter, woke as fuck life, getting away from his sinful past of killing loads of people and giving me hours of pure torture in the last game, by working as a gardener for a Catholic church in Italy. However, things take a 180-degree turn as Father Vittorio, the priest of the church and pretty much 47's only friend throughout the entire series, gets kidnapped by the Mafia, who puts a ransom note for 47, saying that if he pays him $500,000, they'll free Father Vittorio and bring him back to 47 so that they can get geeked up playing Xbox all day in the crib together again. But 47 can't pay that money since he donated pretty much all the money he earned in the last game to the church, and since he's always loyal to a homie means there's only one option left for Mr. 47. Thus beginning the story for the game, and the story is certainly not Kojima material, I'll tell you that.
Run. Together.
Run.
Yeah. Like Mario and Princess Peach.
Or maybe it does, I don't know. Silent Assassin goes for a more proper story this time around, unlike Codename 47, which was as barren as a high-guard server, diving a bit deeper into the character of 47 and his purpose in the world as a genetic clone literally bred to kill, with him in the beginning of the game lamenting about his actions in Codename 47 to Father Vittorio in the confessional, and how he's going to right the wrongs of the past by being a chill guy. All that, however, lasts for a total of 3 minutes before it just gets tossed to the bin in favor of nuclear Russians gone crazy nonsense that feels like it was written in 1982 then 2002. The story pretty much follows the exact same format as Codename 47, and I mean it is the exact same as Codename 47, including all the targets you've been killing being ordered by the same guy, only this time it's done by Hulk Hogan if he was Russian and really loved nukes. Russian Hulk Hogan, he has an actual name in the game, but I'm just gonna call him Russian Hulk Hogan because he just looks like that.
Welcome to the hood, brother!
Ordered the killings of these guys to cover up the fact that with the nuclear weapons I bought from them, he was gonna put software that would make the nukes undetectable by American anti-missile systems, and the targets conveniently had all that, and Russian Hulk Hogan is gonna sell them. Who is he gonna sell them to? Some random cold in India.
The monks named me Ang.
Does India even have people who know shit about nukes in its population? Why did Russian Hulk Hogan choose this group of people in particular? What is Russian Hulk Hogan even planning to accomplish with these nukes? How does he even have all these connections ranging from the Russian government to some random mafia in Italy? Why is the UN involved, and how and why do they have connections to the ICA? Who the fuck knows? Here, get a hole-in-one with this guy. Yeah, the story doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things with Hitman, as all that matters in the end is the gameplay, and boy do I have some things to say about it. The gameplay in Silent Assassin has obviously seen some upgrades and changes from Codename 47, a few of them being really significant to the point where they would become mainstay features in the series moving forward. For starters, there's now a hub area for Agent 47 after certain missions, which is the church garden in Italy at the beginning, where he can happily commit actions that'll make PETA crash the fuck out. This is where he stores all the weapons he gathers and uses for missions, gutting the shop system from Codename 47, which isn't really a big loss at all. What this system benefits is that you no longer have to pick from a predetermined loadout of weapons and items for each mission. Now you can bring over whatever you picked up in a previous mission to your little safe shed, allowing for some more experimentation in missions. Want to live out your basement dweller weeaboo fantasies with this katana? Well, you can do that anywhere now. Speaking of weapons, there are some new pre-equipped additions to 47's arsenal, including night vision, which exists I guess, and more hugely the anesthetic, a weapon that only sedates people instead of killing them, meaning you don't always have to commit multiple Alec Baldwins on people now.
And you don't even have that goddamn
Safety.
turned on.
I'll talk more about this weapon a little later as it has some notable problems, but regarding these weapons and items, they're not all that essential as they all act pretty much the same within each category. Like the katana acts pretty much the same as the golf club, but they help add in a bit of variety with how you approach missions that wasn't really there before with Codename 47. There's a new crouch mode along with sneak mode where 47 bends down really fucking low, which allows you to sneak behind the much more smaller objects and be the most sneaky when it comes to NPCs around areas. There's also now first-person mode to really immerse yourself in the experience of being bald, which is useful for seeing things that are hard to look at in the environment with just third-person, and shooting a lot of guys with more clarity. The map has seen a big overhaul from Codename 47, no longer just being a means to see the level layout, but as a way to see NPCs, at least on normal difficulty, and targets' movements throughout the map, basically being the instinct detective vision mode you see in Absolution through World of Assassination before detective vision was even a thing, just not being as smooth to opt in and out of. But still, I think it's a welcome addition that also looks a lot smoother and cleaner than Codename 47's was, which is like everything that is in Codename 47, including the homeless crackhead down your local 7-Eleven. But the two most important things to Silent Assassin are saves and the rating system. I mean, the save feature is self-explanatory. I already explained how awful Codename 47 was because of the absence of it. It was practically needed. So instead, I'll talk about the brand new rating system that this game introduced that would become a staple feature throughout the entire series moving forward. At the end of each mission, there's a rating screen that examines and rates your playstyle on that level. The highest rating you can get is Silent Assassin.
He said it! He said it!
And the lowest being Mass Murderer. What, that TikTok challenge told me to do so. There's many different levels to this rating system, like say you tried your best to be as stealthy and efficient as possible and try to meet all the requirements to get that Silent Assassin MLG top pro gamer level score rating, but you don't quite get there somehow, some way, and you get the professional rating, a rating which I'm sure has caused many broken keyboards and broken controllers. With the rating system, there's now a new level reward and options available when completing missions, giving the game a bit of replay value that was pretty much non-existent with Codename 47, and also some curiosity on the way you played in that level. If you want to be a pro MLG Mountain Dew Gamer Sweat and try to get Silent Assassin on all the missions next time you play, you can do that. Don't worry, I'll cover all the therapy costs. Or if you just don't give a shit about being stealthy and want to act like 47 in that one shitty Hitman movie, you could do that too, I guess. Personally, I'm not the type of Hitman player to really care much about ratings, trying to get Silent Assassin constantly so I can post about it on Reddit to get shitloads of karma, as I think the main fun of Hitman is in the amount of experiments and ways you can kill a target, but if you're that type of sweaty gamer who really loves that cruel and unusual punishment, then the rating system is right up your arsenal. So those are all the good additions that Silent Assassin has brought to the table, and they're all certainly step-ups from Codename 47, no doubt. However, that's kinda where the positives end for this game, as the list of issues this game has, Ooh, it's a long one. First things first, the aforementioned anesthetic is actually kind of useless. Its main purpose is so that you can successfully get Silent Assassin, as you're only allowed to kill one person per mission, or else you won't get it. And if not, maybe you're on that pacifist run and you don't feel like slaughtering some random innocent waiter taking a smoke. But there's one major caveat to this weapon, as it only knocks a person out for a certain period of time, depending on how long you sedate them. The largest amount of time for a person to be knocked out is only 5 minutes. Trust me bro, a certified AI professional told me that. And I guarantee you that is not enough time for you to plan out killing your target ninja style, as the person you sedated will wake up, call out to the guards what happened to them, most of the time anyway, and fuck everything over for you. So it's practically a speedrun for you to complete mission objectives before that guard you took their clothes from wakes up and snitches on your ass. This makes anesthetic almost completely useless, as sedating guys with it is pretty much the same as letting them live, except they just call for the guards to light up your ass. So killing guys instead is pretty much necessary for you if you want to be truly stealthy. But remember, you can only kill one person if you want to get Silent Assassin, but anesthetic can also ruin your chances to get Silent Assassin anyway, because of people almost always snitching on you if they wake up. And since the animation for taking out the anesthetic and smothering guys with it takes like 5 business days to complete, you'll probably get spotted by people walking by anyway. So really, this weapon is as pointless as a YouTube reply argument. Speaking of speed, this game is a lot slower than Codename 47. Like, really fucking slow. Possibly the slowest game in the series. The running speed is nerfed compared to the supersonic running speed of Codename 47, and the sneak and especially crouch mode has the same speed as modern day Ric Flair without the alcohol. And this can be a bit of a detriment when moving from one area to another and sneaking up on people, who will most likely turn their back on you and blast your ass to outer space. But that might not be that big of a deal if you're the more patient kind of Hitman gamer. Problem is that Silent Assassin asks you to have the patience of a Japanese Zen Grandmaster Sensei that's sitting on the very top of Mount Everest, with the only thing balancing him is the very top sticking up his asshole. And the utmost requirement for that patience is, do not run. And also don't stand there doing literally nothing. Which leads me to perhaps Silent Assassin's biggest 2 issues, the sus meter and the godforsaken AI. Holy shit, where to start with this AI, man. See, the AI in Silent Assassin has seen a bit of a, let's say, revamp from Codename 47. In interviews, the devs said that the AI was going to be more realistic than Codename 47. And in a sense, this is kinda true, as with a suspicion meter, a mechanic that lets you know how sus you are within NPCs, the AI will be able to recognize that one of their guys looks more balder than usual. But here's the problem. The AI in Silent Assassin might just be the most broken, most fucked, most any synonym of the word mess AI I've ever seen in a video game. And I've played Aliens Colonial Marines. How the AI works in Silent Assassin boils down to this. If you stand close to any NPC while wearing any kind of disguise for like 7 to 8 seconds, they'll walk right to you, sniff you out, and lose their shit and do a bite and blast in your face. This means that even if you're not doing anything remotely sus and just stand there, every single guard will figure out you're the imposter and eject your ass regardless. And there are many times you'll have to walk by a guard in a corridor, and while they usually just mind their own business while raising an eyebrow, it's still not consistent, as they'll sometimes find you out even if you're just walking by. This makes just walking around environments unnecessarily tense and unpredictable, made all the worse as you'll walk into areas wearing a disguise that you think is safe to use, only to get a harsh reality check as every NPC will crash out and shoot you dead. For example, in the first real mission in the game, Anathema, you can dress up as a delivery boy in the Mafia's mansion who is delivering groceries in the mansion kitchen. Now, I assume that if I just did the same thing as that guy before I killed him and took his delivery clothes, that would easily be able to get inside the mansion, grab the silver ballers I put in the grocery crate, and walk in like a boss. Nope. Once I entered the kitchen, they immediately found me out and flipped their shit.
What the? Can't you say anything else?
The other method of entering the mansion, the postman method, is also forked, as though it does get you inside the mansion, it doesn't give you any clear cues on sneakily moving around it, as if you walk into another room while this guard is standing here, you guess it, So how do you sneak by this guard who will always turn around in your direction? Well, what you have to do is run by him while he's very briefly facing behind you as he's walking to the door where the maid is walking. But there's absolutely no way you have thought to do this without looking up a guide, and this is still inconsistent as hell as he'll still sometimes spot you running by, and he'll sometimes even just stand there without moving an inch. This makes the guard method, taking out the guard taking a leak that shows up in the intro of the mission, the only somewhat viable way to enter the mansion. But even then, this is a problem that's prevalent throughout the entire game. Even if you're wearing what should be the right disguise in a mission, there'll be what I like to call trap areas, where you'll enter an area thinking that you're good, only to find out that fuck no you ain't, and all the guards will blindly fire at you without any warning whatsoever, making navigating around levels a guessing game of whether or not you'll get lit the hell up. The AI also has the same issue that Codename 47 has, where if you do something loud like sniping a guy in the same vicinity as them, even when hiding in a place where they really should not see you so clearly, they'll still somehow track you down and end you. There are times in the game where I'm convinced the game just hates me with its AI, like in the final Malaysia mission, the jacuzzi job, where I'm supposed to take out Malaysian Tony Soprano chilling in a hot tub with a bunch of girls. The girls will occasionally go to the bathroom in front of the hot tub room and stay in there for a bit, which gives you the perfect opportunity to kill the guy in the This is Silent Assassin, bitch! Take your sensitive ass back to World of Assassination! If you go back in front of the hot tub door after you're somewhere else, like 3 seconds after they enter the bathroom, the hot tub girls will have their spidey senses tingling, sensing that you're nearby, and always immediately go back into the hot tub room every single time, meaning that you have to crouch nearby the door in order for them to not notice you when going into the bathroom, but then there's a guard that's also nearby who'll suss you out almost instantly. You know what? Go full Doom guy, I don't fucking care anymore. But that doesn't even cover the worst of it, as all the guard NPCs in Silent Assassin also used to be pool lifeguards as well, and if you run in their line of sight, they'll get their laser eyes out and absolutely annihilate you. This is what I was talking about with Silent Assassin having the utmost patience required to play it. If you're the type of Hitman player to just get things over with and not take long to observe and plan everything, then this game is definitely not for you at all. With this heavy restriction on running, this means you'll have to walk around everywhere in order to not arouse suspicion immediately, which, as I already stated, is incredibly slow, so you better take a chill pill while playing this game. This AI is so bad and just stains the game, even worse than Codename 47's in my opinion. I get that IO was trying to go for a more realistic approach for AI in this game, so they would be more suspect of 47 wearing a disguise of someone they know, but as the great Gaben once said,
and I have never thought to myself that realism is fun.
With Codename 47, at least the AI would only fall apart when it came to you actually doing sus things like shooting someone, but in Silent Assassin, the AI just falls apart when it comes to you doing anything. It doesn't really feel realistic at all, it just feels more like a coin toss on if they'll crash out or not. But okay, maybe the AI is the worst thing ever, but what about the map and mission design? Surely they're a big upgrade from Codename 47. Well, not really. The map and mission design runs into a lot of the same problems that Codename 47 had with its map and mission design, that being a lot of the mission maps are either just really linear or really big and empty. The St. Petersburg map suffers from the latter as most of it is just really long streets and alleys filled with nothing, and as the map is expanded further in the second last mission in the game where you revisit it, it becomes a big issue as it'll feel like it'll take an eternity to get to where you want to go, and you better make sure there aren't any guards in your line of sight if you want to run, or else you get fucking sniped. IO tries to solve this problem with these sewers, but it just feels more like a cheap excuse for poor map design, as these sewers are also just boring long corridors that get you to where you want to go slightly faster. A lot of the buildings that you enter in Silent Assassin also consist of a lot of confusing corridors and hallways that look the same, meaning you have to constantly bring up the map to check if you're even going the right way, which is typically not. Then there's a linear map and mission design where the map is really fucking small, and the ways to kill a target is also extremely limited. It's actually why I kind of feel like Russia has the best missions in the entire game. Kirov Park meaning an invitation to a party to be specific. They're still not great due to the map layouts, but they actually do offer multiple ways to kill targets. For the former, you could blow up the target's cars while they're inside of them, or just snipe them, and for the latter mission, you could either poison this general guy, or just shoot him while he's scooting over this maid. Wow, options! I've never heard that before. Unfortunately, after invitation to a party, these different methods get thrown out of the window, as from here on out, there's only one way to kill targets, which usually amount to just sneaking up behind them and either shooting or choking them out with a fiber wire in either really small or really big maps that barely have anything to mess around with in them. Either that or filler missions that just have you go from point A to point B, like the Graveyard Shift mission in Malaysia, where all you do is just plant some hacking thing on a server and then leave. Greatest mission in the Hitman series. Put this mission at triple S tier right fucking now, baby! Really, the missions that best exemplify almost all the problems that Silent Assassin has is the Japan missions. These missions fucking suck ass. Sorry to all the weeaboos and public transport supporters. Linear map and mission design? Check. Maps are also big and empty? Check. Maps are also as small as Joe Rogan? Check. Bullshit insane AI? Big check. Every mission here is terrible in their own ways. The first mission, tracking Hayamato, is so linear that Todd Howard would be proud.
It just works.
The map is insanely small, and the only way he'd even kill your target without getting spotted is by putting a poisoned fish in a dish a waitress delivers to him, but you better make sure you're not in the same room as that waitress, or else her spidey senses tingle and she won't pick it up.
See, this game just like hates me, man. I don't know what it's done to me. Why does this game just hate me?
Really boring ass unreplayable mission, not good. Then we get on to the shittiest missions in the entire game. Hidden Valley, At the Gates, and Shogun Showdown. Hidden Valley and At the Gates are pretty much a part of the same mission, just going from point A to point B, and they have quite a lot of issues. First, there's snipers that are overlooking the forest who will always shoot you down. Even if you're wearing a disguise that completely covers your entire body, they'll still perceive you as the enemy and pop your head as if it was a balloon. Typical Silent Assassin AI slop bullshit. Can we please kill AI, specifically the Silent Assassin AI? Secondly, in the case of Hidden Valley, there's quite a bit of bugs here. Silent Assassin is a really buggy game in general. There'll be T-posing, animations getting busted, people phasing through shit like they're Kitty Pryde, and also this. This is some weird-ass rizzing up I'm seeing here. This mission has a big bug in it where the trucks that's necessary to get to the point B in the mission will randomly just stop, causing you to get identified by the ninjas somehow, and forcing you to go back to your previous save. It's an awful mission that has a big empty map design that a lot of the other missions have, that I'm surprised that it even got past testing. Like, did no one tell IO that this mission was turbo-fucked? At the Gates has the same issues as Hidden Valley, just without the busted trucks. Same big and empty layout, snipers, broken AI, and that there are 2 security alarm units you have to shut off, but there's actually a third one that Diana doesn't tell you about until you shut down the 2 units, and she also tells you that it's not marked on your map. Yay! Then there's Shogun Showdown with its ninjas perching on ceilings, noisy wooden floorboards that of course makes the AI melt down, confusing interior layout, and only one way of killing a target. Yada 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 yada, shit's a slog. On the plus side, Lei Ling, the prostitute you had to rescue in the Li Hong assassination mission from the last game, makes a cameo here, who seems to have taken a very severe concussion since the last game.
I'm not who you think I am. Just as the mirror is not always just a reflection of what you see. I do not belong here. What about you, mister?
Well, I don't mind. The hours are short and the pay's good. But he's just an old rich bastard and I'm bored now. I always like you the best. Can you help me escape? I can do plenty stuff for you.
Most of the game kinda goes on like this really, but the Japan missions are especially egregious examples. Just honkshoe missions are at best really boring and unremarkable, and at worst an extremely frustrating, poorly thought out mess. But thankfully, this suffering comes to an end with the final mission, Redemption at Contrano, that has a surprisingly pretty good ending. The game ends in almost the exact same way as Codename 47, with 47 getting into a shootout and killing the supposed bad guy of the game, except it's in a church and involves Russian Hulk Hogan holding a priest hostage. After 47 kills Russian Hulk Hogan, he goes to Father Vittorio, who is safe and sound after all this time. Somehow, where the fuck was he during all this? He gives 47 a crucifix and tells him that he can still change his ways and live a more peaceful life. But 47 doesn't quite agree with that assessment.
Always knew I never belonged in this world. I wasn't made for this. But I'll never forget those who betrayed me, and those who never failed my trust. I'll be carrying nothing from Contrano but this lesson. Never trust anyone, and rely on your instincts. Forget the past. I'll never find peace here. So, I'll seek justice for myself. I'll choose the truth I like.
It's a shame Silent Assassin is the way it is, as you can see the potential that is there, and there are times in the game where you can just feel that Hitman energy coming together, especially with that soundtrack, man. Play that shit! But then that energy gets interrupted by 1,000 screaming TikTokers with AI brain rot music playing at 1,000 decibels. So as a result, you get a game that is an improvement from Codename 47 and gets closer to its potential in a few areas, but it's still not there as it gets bogged down by a huge number of its own problems. If you have nostalgia for Silent Assassin, which I'm betting a lot of people watching this video does, then you'll probably look at it more positively and can look past its many flaws. And of course, that's good for you. I'm not going to smash your CRT and tell you to buy a Roku Smart TV, but if you're someone like me who doesn't have any nostalgia for it and comes from the future games, all you really feel is anger and annoyance. Really, if this game didn't have a save feature like Codename 47, it would probably be in my list of the worst games ever. So it's a godsend feature for Hitman that often gets taken for granted. God bless the save feature. Can I get an amen? I don't know, maybe the upcoming Hitman Trilogy remaster will help fix its issues. It's probably going to end up a cash grab remaster anyway, so probably not, but hey, one man can dream. But as it stands, Silent Assassin is a game that goes on a few right steps with the formula Codename 47 established, but trips and falls on at least 10 other steps. But hey, it's still at least a little better than Codename 47, which means that the Hitman series can only get better from here, right? As always, thank you guys for watching the video, and you hopefully like it. Dislike it, call me a fraud chud loser, whatever the hell you like to do, I appreciate your support nonetheless, as I don't really do any of this for the money. who do you think I am, Activision? Or maybe I am Activision. In that case, charge me at least $500 for watching this video, and all future videos from now on will be AI generated, so come on, put it in my fucking wallet. Put it in my fucking wallet. I really need all those ChatGPT and Gemini subscriptions. Come on, put it in. Put it in my fucking bank account, please. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to be dropping more videos relatively soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this vid, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. That if he pays him $500,000, they'll free Dr. Father, but Doctor. I can't believe I said doctor. There's a new crouch mode along with sneak mode where 47 bends down. Really down. At the end of each mission, there's a rating screen that examines and rates your playstyle in that level. The highest rating you can get is Silent Assassin. Oh, I hit the mic. But here's the problem. The AI in Silent Assassin might just be the most broken, most fucked, most any synonym Every mission here is terrible in their own ways. The first mission, tracking Hayomato, Hey, motto. Hey, ya, the bar with it. The map is insanely small, and the only way you can even kill your target without getting spotted is by putting a poisoned fish in a dish. Poisoned fish in a ditch. A waitress delivers to him.